I think we're live. Hopefully we're live. I'll double check. I'll refresh my Facebook feed, and it looks like we're live. Yesterday I talked a little bit about Gary V, and I'll explain why this was hitting my attention. If you look at videos, YouTube videos at all, and you're in the car business, my sense is you probably have seen this video over and over and over again. And I'll play it for you. And it's a great video. It's a great marketing video. And unfortunately, I don't think it actually, well, let me play it and we'll see what you think.
One of the things we're finding is change of narrative on metrics. What's working, what's not working, which metrics to look at, which ones to not.
Sales of f***ing cars.
So that's the crux. He was asked a question, which metrics matter in this day and age? And his response was the sales of fucking cars. And to me, that's not a metric. It's an outcome. And whether we're talking about the sales of cars, the sales of service, the sales of F&I products, those are all outcomes. And that's the problem. There's a lot on highly involved purchases, considered purchases, meaning that consumers spend a lot of time thinking about these purchases. Awareness isn't enough. And I think that's the thing that we're missing here is, and Gary sells awareness. Facebook is all about awareness. And the trick is to remain under consideration for the entire consideration phase of the buying process. And simply having consumers be aware that you exist isn't enough in this day and age, especially when they're only visiting one or two dealerships in person. And it could get worse as online retailing, digital retailing takes hold, meaning that they may never visit the dealership at all. You don't have the opportunity to talk to the customer until they're in the they've already bought, they've made their decision. So they're buying a car by the time you actually have a conversation with the customer. Awareness isn't nearly enough. And I'll post a link to the entire hour-long keynote Gary at the CBT conference. Gary tells a story about being with a business partner. They're driving in Manhattan, and they saw a line that was like 3 blocks long, and it was outside of Sephora, which is apparently a makeup store. I don't know. And Gary immediately said, check YouTube. It must be a YouTube star, and he was right. And so there is an entire subculture of YouTube makeup video stars, and they packed the place with fans of this YouTube makeup star, and they probably sold makeup to who knows, if everybody bought $30 worth of makeup, that is a huge success. And unfortunately, makeup isn't a car. A $30 sale of makeup isn't the same as selling a $30,000 truck. And that's the challenge. I don't want to use the word attribution, but I will use the word influence. Now, you can be influenced to buy makeup fairly easily. You can't be influenced nearly as easily to buy a car. You're going to spend a lot of time researching the options. You're going to spend time considering the options. You have a lot of involvement in a major purchase where risk is involved. And buying a car is inherently there's some risk, and that's why customers are nervous when they're buying a car. So I think it's a very different animal. When people are looking at buying a car, they look at the dealership, they look at the dealership's reputation, they're weighing pricing, they're figuring out what salesperson they're going to buy from. All of these things factor in. And it's not as simple as saying what sells cars. At the end of the day, that's the important thing. But what led up to that customer making a purchase decision? And those metrics are actually very important. And by saying the only metric that matters is the sales of fucking cars, I'm sorry, Gary, you're doing a disservice to everybody who's watching you, because there's more that goes into buying and selling a car than just the sale of the fucking car. What makes that consumer pull the trigger? And I don't think it's very rare for a customer to have one thing that made them pull the trigger. In most cases, it's a number of things. The reputation, the price, the salesman, all of these things factor in. And you can say that one thing led me to click, but I don't necessarily think that one thing led me to making a decision. So that's my video today. And I love Gary. Gary V is a whip smart, highly successful person. I think he's giving us the short shrift by saying, what metric do you look at? The sales of fucking cars. That's an outcome. It's not a metric. I will play the rest of the Force marketing video as just to be fair to them, and it's a great marketing video. I don't fault the video. It's just the message isn't really. It doesn't make sense to the car business. So I love the video. I just don't necessarily agree with the message, and I think there's more to buying a car, and there's more to marketing a car dealership and a vehicle. So that's the video today.